Alright, let's get this out of the way first. I know how this sounds. Believe me, I wouldn't believe it either if it hadn't happened to me. To us, what started as a boring, rainy Saturday afternoon of spring cleaning turned into... well, you'll see. My partner, Alex, and I have lived in this old house for about 5 years. It's a charming place, built in the 70s, with all the quirks you'd expect: creaky floors, a drafty window in the guest room, and an attic that we barely touched since we moved in. It was a time capsule of the previous owners' lives, packed with dusty boxers we never got around to sorting. This particular Saturday, we decided to finally tackle it. Armed with gloves, masks, and a sense of grim determination, we pried open the attic hatch. The air was thick with the smell of old paper and forgotten memories. We spent the first hour just sneezing and shifting boxes around. Most of it was junk old holiday decorations, stacks of yellowed newspapers, a broken record player. We were about to call it a day when Alex grunted, pulling a heavy cardboard box from a dark corner. Unlike the others, this one was sealed tight with brittle, yellowed packing tape. It had no labels, no markings at all. Curiosity got the better of us. We hauled it downstairs and carefully sliced it open. Inside, nestled amongst moth-eaten blankets, was a single, black VHS tape. Again, no label, just a plain, black cassette. Now, we don't even own a VCR. I haven't seen one in probably 15 years. But Alex, being the wonderful, sentimental hoarder that he is, remembered he had an old combo VCR DVD player stored in his parents' garage. A quick phone call and a half-hour drive later, we were back, armed with the ancient technology. There was a strange sense of ceremony as we plugged it in. The machine whirred to life with a groan, like it was waking up from a long, deep sleep. I remember joking with Alex, "What do you think it is?" An old wedding video. A secret spy recording. He laughed, but there was an odd tension in the air. I slid the tape and the slot clicked shut. The machine whirred and clunked, and after a moment of static, an image flickered onto the screen. And that's when the joking stopped. The screen showed a room. It was dark, illuminated only by the soft glow of a street lamp filtering through a window. It took me a second to get my bearings, but then a cold dread washed over me. I recognized the window. I recognized the floral pattern of the curtains, and I recognized the old oak headboard of the bed. It was our bedroom. The shot was from a high angle, near the ceiling, looking directly down at our bed. And on the bed were two figures, sleeping, still, peaceful. It was us. It was me and Alex, fast asleep. I could see the curve of my shoulder, the way Alex always hogs the duvet. My heart started pounding in my chest. "Alex," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "What is this?" He didn't answer. His eyes were glued to the screen, his face pale. The footage was grainy, the quality terrible, but there was no mistaking it. It was us. Sleeping. The timestamp in the bottom corner of the screen was the most chilling part. It was glowing in that classic, blocky green font. The date read October 26th of last year. And the time was ticking forward. It wasn't a loop. It was a continuous recording. We were watching ourselves sleep in real time from a night 6 months ago. We sat there in stunned silence for what felt like an eternity, just watching the two figures on the screen breathe. My on-screen self rolled over. I flinched, as if I could feel it. "This is a prank," Alex finally said, his voice strained. "It has to be. Someone is messing with us. But who? And how?" The angle was impossible. "There's nothing up there. It's a flat, plaster ceiling. There's no crawl space, no vent, no possible place to hide a camera. We'd painted that ceiling ourselves. We would have known." We fast-forwarded through the tape, hours and hours of us sleeping, night after night. The date changed, October 27th, 28th. A full week of recordings. Nothing ever happened. It was just us, sleeping, completely oblivious. We paused the tape on a clear shot of my face. The quality was poor, but it was undeniably me. How could they have gotten this? I asked, looking around our living room as if the culprit might be standing right there. The house suddenly felt violated. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow in the corner seemed menacing. We weren't just living here. We were being watched. We went back up to the attic, frantic now, searching for anything else. Another box, another tape, a camera, anything. We found nothing, just dust and forgotten junk. Downstairs, we went over the box, the tape came in, we tore it apart, looking for clues. And that's when I found it. Tucked into a folded flap at the bottom, almost invisible, was a small, faded photograph. It was a picture of a family, a man, a woman, and a young boy, smiling in front of our house. They were probably from the 80s. Judging by the clothes and hairstyles, they looked happy. On the back, written in neat cursive, were the words, "The Millers will always be watching over our home." The Millers, that was the name of the previous owners. The family who built the house, an elderly couple who sold it to us before moving to a retirement community. We never met their children. Suddenly, it clicked. This wasn't a threat. At least, I don't think it was. It felt more like a strange, misguided form of protection. Like they had left this behind to keep an eye on the house they loved so much. But the technology, the real-time recording from 6 months ago on an old VHS tape, it makes no sense. It's technologically impossible. We sat with that knowledge for the rest of the day. The TV screen dark, the tape ejected and sitting on the coffee table like some strange, forbidden artifact. The feeling of being violated was replaced by a profound sense of bewilderment. Were we living with ghosts? Or was this some elaborate, inexplicable, technological trick left behind by the former owners? We don't have an answer. We never watched the rest of the tape. To be honest, we were too afraid to. We put the tape and the photograph back in the box, sealed it up, and put it back in the darkest corner of the attic. We haven't talked about it since that day. But sometimes, when I'm lying in bed at night, I'll look up at the ceiling. A tête blank, empty spot right above our bed, and I can't help but wonder, are we still being watched? Is someone or something still looking out for us from the shadows of this old house? It's a thought that still sends a shiver down my spine. Thanks for listening to my story. I know it's strange, and I don't expect you to believe it, but it's what happened. Sometimes the world is a lot weirder than we think. If you have any strange stories of your own, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the unexplained. Stay safe. Out there.